Welcome to the Chicago Golf Report podcast.
We've been around since probably 2011, 2012 timeframe. I've been with the company since 2017, and we are essentially a event management platform built specifically for golf events. And we primarily work with charity type golf events. So the events being put on by the charity themselves or any passionate third party raising money for a charity. And we have some really great ways that our technology can help save these organizers a lot of time because most nonprofit staffs are kind of understaffed. So it's important to provide them with tech that can really work smarter and kind of free them up to accomplish other tasks. And then we also have some really cool ways that we can help them raise even more money for their golf event. So really that's the big focus of our platform, is to save these organizers as much time as possible while helping them raise as much money as possible and really make it easy to handle those golf specific tasks that you won't run into with any other type of fundraising event. They're just unique to the golf event. So, like the scoring, the custom printouts that you will need, all that good stuff.
So I think I came across GolfStatus through an event that was being run through GolfStatus. And one of the things you offer is a website, golf tournament website. Is that part of the technology that you offer, or is that something that you add on?
No, so that's one of the big things that we do for our clients. That's the first thing we'll actually do for them. So once we bring them on board, we'll collect all of their event information. We'll punch that into our software, and then that is what will create that custom event website where they can promote their event, really tell their organization story, tell everyone why they're raising money, what the money's going towards, and most importantly, they can easily sell everything they need to for the golf event. So they can sell all of their team packages. Any individual golfers that want to sign up can get signed up, can sell all of their sponsorships as well. Any add-ons they're selling, mulligans, raffle tickets, those types of things. And then also, if there's any person that isn't able to participate in the event, but they just like to make a simple donation, the site can very easily take just straight cash donations as well.
So that's an interesting part of it. So you talk about one of the most important things that you're trying to help with these golf outings and the golf outing organizers is saving time.
Mm-hmm.
But the organizers have so many, I guess, boxes that they have to check. Primarily, number one is they got to pull off this event. They got to make sure that everybody can sign up, they can collect funds, that they can make sure that people check in on time. So there's the kind of the management of the event, but then there's also the fundraising component of the event. So what is it that you think, where does GolfStatus provide the most value? Because both of those seem to be like extremely important for the outing to work properly.
Yeah, I mean, saving the time is huge, especially if it's being put on by one or two people, maybe three people. So having technology that can get your website up and running very easily, make the promotion of the event so much easier. So really, you're just focusing on driving as many people to your event site as possible, and then they just sign up right then and there and pay right then and there. That's going to save a ton of time, but especially when you talk about value the platform brings, that's really the sponsorship opportunities that we offer to our events. So one of our most popular packages that our events take advantage of is essentially they're selling what we call a technology sponsorship, where they're selling exposure within the GolfStatus platform to a sponsor. This sponsor would get their logo on the homepage of the event website we create for them. They get them in all the custom printouts, so the scorecards, the cart signs. They are within the mobile app for live scoring, so they're on every hole within the mobile app, on all the live leaderboards. We have multiple spots where we display live leaderboards during the event, in the app, on the event website, on a TV in the clubhouse. So the purchasing sponsor of this particular package gets their logo in all of those places. So a lot of our events will package these offerings in with their presenting, their title sponsor, whatever that largest sponsor opportunity is. And right now, our events on average are bringing in an extra $4,000, sometimes more, in extra sponsorship revenue they didn't have before, just with that one single package. So that's where the value really is with GolfStatus, allowing you to not only save time, but take advantage of these risk-free opportunities to bring in more sponsorship dollars. Then we also do some cool things with hole-in-one contests, custom flags for the event, if you want to take advantage of those as well. But most important thing is these are risk-free opportunities. There's no penalty to the event if they aren't able to sell these sponsorships. we are only winning if they are winning, if they're successful in driving more sponsorship revenue with these really cool opportunities.
So let's take a step back a little bit, even further away from GolfStatus. Let's talk about the industry itself. Golf outings. Golf is such a unique sport in that we raise more in terms of fundraising than all the other major sports combined.
Yep.
So we've got this history of that. GolfStatus is plugged into that to help accelerate that. Have you seen golf outings? Have you seen them going up, going down, especially since the pandemic, or what's your take on the industry overall?
Yeah, I mean, golf is such a great vehicle for fundraising in general. The most I think charitable people typically already are golfers. The golfing demographic is made up of very highly affluent, influential individuals. So those are the people you want coming to your fundraising events, especially if it's a golf event. They're the people you're most likely to get out to your fundraising event if it is a golf event. But we really saw a surge in interest in golf events during the pandemic. It was one of the few events these nonprofits could still host safely because it was outdoors, you could easily distance and whatnot. And now that that's kind of all behind us, we've seen a lot of these events that came and wanted to try it out for the first time stick around. And so it's still a really great vehicle for fundraising. I think a lot of nonprofits are starting to realize that if they hadn't already realized that. But then we also see a lot of fundraising events at facilities like a Topgolf, for instance, or we've seen, I think, more interest in putt-putt golf fundraisers, which is the same thing, but maybe a little less intimidating to someone who's not an experienced golfer. They can still go out and play around a mini golf as well. So I still see golf events as extremely popular. A lot of nonprofits are really realizing the great opportunity they have to raise money through this really great sport. And some are finding some really cool, creative ways to do it, including some of these other types of events like Topgolf or like mini golf.
I want to follow up with that, but the Topgolf and say putt shack and like you said, the putt, but I want to stay on what we were talking about. So one of the things that you mentioned that GolfStatus helps with is driving attendance or helping golf outing managers I guess, accomplish that. What are the things that you recommend when you're working with outings to help them drive attendance to their event, fill up that tee sheet?
Yeah, well, the big thing is first is make sure your registration process is as simple as it possibly can be. So that obviously is bringing that online where someone can easily learn about your event and with just a few clicks, sign up their team, buy their sponsorship, and then pay right then and there. So you want the barrier to registration to be absolutely as low as possible. But also on that same note, you need to make sure that promoting this registration is easy as well. It's easy to find this website. So that's the importance thing of bringing this registration process online. We've had a lot of clients come to us who are, collecting registrations via email, via phone, via paper forms they're sending out. That's not an efficient way to do it at all. And people also, when they're doing it that way, aren't paying when they're signing up. So they're not really committed to the event. They can easily no-show you because they hadn't actually paid yet. So making sure your process is online and it's easy for the user, the registrant, to get through registration as easy as possible, submit their payment. And then having registration online makes promotion of your event easy, because when you're promoting your event, you want a very clear, simple call to action. And the call to action in all of your promotion will just be linking to this event website. So whether that's on social media, an email blast, you can even still use print promotion. You just put a QR code on those printed materials that takes them right to the website. So that makes the promotion of the event really easy with a very clear call to action to get people to that website and then get them signed up.
So I should take a step back. GolfStatus, do you do events throughout the country, or are you kind of focused in an area, or what's the scope?
We are throughout the country. We're even in Canada a little bit. And we actually have had a few events over in the UK ask us about live scoring their events as well. So primarily the United States and Canada, but we do have our eyes on, getting even bigger as we continue to grow.
Mm-hmm. So then live scoring, another question with that. What's the percentage of events that take advantage of live scoring through your platform?
I would say it's definitely probably over 80% of events are interested in the live scoring. It's hard to get an entire field to live score the event all the way through. That's why we still have the custom paper scorecards. And most of our events, what they'll do is like, hey, here's how you live score your event. You only need one person per team to do it. The app's totally free. You download it. Still write your scores on the paper cards, and then when it comes to tallying the results, it's a lot quicker for the organizer to just grab the paper cards and confirm what everyone entered into the app with the paper scorecards. If any event out there is, really wanting to go 100% live scoring, we have some cool strategies they can use to get the entire field, like, offering potential prizes for teams that do live score all the way through, kind of incentivizing players to get the app. But I like to think of it as kind of a cool, fun add-on for a lot of teams to participate in. You still got your paper card, but hey, you can check out this app where you can easily enter your score. You can view the leaderboard throughout the day. That's usually a nice incentive for teams, so they know where they stand throughout the tournament. Also, the GolfStatus app has a really cool, completely free GPS. You can drag your finger around on the hole to get distances to wherever you want to go. So if you're someone that doesn't have that handy laser rangefinder, this is a really cool free GPS option for you.
Yeah, I think anybody who plays in outings, especially if you're a somewhat competitive golfer, the value that live scoring can bring, because it just adds this element where you're looking on your phone and seeing that. But so that the prize is to incentivize. I haven't heard of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
What about event size? Do you see like an average event size that you're working with?
It's really all over the board. We have some really smaller events that maybe in their first or second year, and they've got 15 to 20 teams, 20 foursomes, and then we go all the way up to the completely sold out events, 144 golfers. Some of the events are multi-day, sold out, or double shotgun. They got a morning flight and afternoon flight, everywhere in between. So that's the nice thing about this platform. You can't be too small to take advantage of the benefits that it offers, or too large. We can work with any type of event. So it's kind of a really all over the map there in terms of the size of event we work with. We see it all.
You told us about ideas to drive attendance. What about ideas to drive revenue for golf outings? So what are your
so when it comes to driving revenue, you want to focus on your sponsorships. That's where you're going to make the most money for your golf event. Really, when you look at the golfer registrations, you're really going to use those to kind of cover your hard costs from the golf course. So this is going to cover, the green fees, the cart fees, the range balls, any food that I provide. That's going to kind of be covered by the golfers' registrations. Where you're going to bring in the most revenue, the most net revenue, is through your sponsorship. So you really want to make sure you have a lot of variety, a lot of options out there. The technology sponsorship we offer is a big part of that, being able to drive some extra revenue. But one of my favorite organizers I've worked with over the years, she always would tell me, if I can put a logo on it, I'm going to sell a sponsorship for it. So think creative. Don't really limit yourself. Have a bev cart sponsor. If you're doing a lunch, a dinner, attach a sponsor to that. A hole-in-one contest, attach a sponsor to that. And golf carts, towels, whatever you can sell a sponsorship for, get out there and try to sell one. That's what is going to help you raise the most money as possible. It's what's going to affect your bottom line in the biggest possible way. And the nice thing about some of these sponsorships is you're not having to pay a cost for them unless you sell them. So if you do a flag sponsorship, a shirt sponsorship, a golf ball sponsorship, you can just kind of set a deadline for yourself. I need to sell it by this date so I can have time to fulfill the order, but I'm not going to pay any money unless I get a sponsorship to cover the cost. So, don't be afraid to go big, and get creative and really just offer a wide variety of options and just approach as many people as you can. I always suggest start with your internal networks for yourself, your planning team, whoever it may be, who's got those connections to businesses who can get your foot in the door to have a quick meeting. And that's usually a really good place to start to really sell as many sponsorships as you possibly can. But that's what you want to focus on if you want to increase your revenue.
So that begins a tangential question that in my mind is, have you seen events improving their ability to mobilize their supporters, say via social media? Because I'll often see they have these big groups, they even have their own audiences on Facebook, but sometimes they lack that ability to, you think, just get out in front of these people on social. Have you seen a change in that?
It's definitely a focus. You want to obviously use social media as a free tool to tell your story. And that's where, storytelling really comes into play. I talk about it all the time, building cause connection into your events. When people come to your event, when they leave, they should know what you were raising money for, why you were there. So using social media to tell that story, can you kind of tug on people's heartstrings and kind of get them more invested in what it is that you're doing? That's a huge part of it for sure. And that not only relates to the golfers that are playing the event, but also the sponsors as well. The sponsors want that great exposure, that return on investment, but they also want to feel good about where they're spending their money with what charity. So being able to really weave in that cost connection to the event. I even tell events all the time, get specific with where this money is going. It's like, if you're selling a sponsorship, say, hey, if you purchase this sponsorship, we're able to provide, meals to families in need for a week, for a month. Get specific with where this money is going. And so social media is a big part of that, kind of, again, tugging at people's heartstrings, getting people involved. But once you get people to your golf event, you want to continue to steward them forward, because collect their information, their email, their phone numbers, keep them up to date with what you're doing, the next events you have coming up. You don't want them to come to the event and then leave and then forget about you. So that's a big part of building your event up year after year, making it more successful. And we've seen that with a lot of our clients, that they have an event first, second year, and then that continues to grow because they're doing those things, continuing to steward those folks forward. So it's definitely possible, and we've seen it happen with a lot of the events that we work with.
Yeah, I like how you refer to these, because it seems like there's a lot of foundational elements that these events have to follow, but then the GolfStatus platform kind of helps handle a lot of the minutia, perhaps, and be able to execute on it. So it makes a lot of sense. So I want to finish up two more questions for you. Number one, I guess this might tie into the revenue component of it, but can you talk a little bit about the GolfStatus marketplace? I noticed you had some options in there for events that were pretty unique, and I think might be pretty helpful.
Yeah, so the marketplace is kind of a collection of vendors we've built partnerships with over our years in business, and obviously there's a lot of things that you can have included in your golf event, and we don't provide all of it. So we have kind of built these natural partnerships with some other vendors that we've vetted. We've made sure that they're providing value. They operate in a ethical, professional way that we are happy to introduce for free to all of our clients. So we have some few auction software offerings built in there, because obviously you see a lot of auctions run in tandem with golf events. We have some cool on-course entertainment vendors in there, like Backswing Golf Events. For example, we have some custom golf balls, hole signs, stuff like that. We even have a vendor in there that can hunt down a celebrity if you want a celebrity to make an appearance at your golf events, whether it's any celebrity or you have a specific one in mind. So it's a really great collection of vendors that can provide really great value to your golf event that unfortunately we can't provide to you, but we know that you need it, can make your event more successful. So we want to facilitate those introductions if any of our clients have any interest.
Yeah, it's really a great resource. Even just great ideas for event managers to kind of ponder. So then last question for you. You mentioned this a little bit earlier about sort of non-traditional golf events, Top Golf. We have Putt Shack here in Chicago. Can you talk about, does GolfStatus, have you done events at like Top Golfs and Putt Shacks, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, they're really great opportunities, because as for any new golfers out there, golf can be an intimidating sport to come into and play, especially in a full-fledged golf event in an 18-hole facility. So having events at like a Top Golf or a putt golf course, stuff like that, it's a lot less intimidating. And I feel like you can get maybe more people there that you wouldn't have gotten to your event if it was at a typical 18-hole golf course. So yes, we do work with a lot of those events. Actually, our own marketing team puts on a mini golf event here locally in Lincoln, Nebraska, where we're located. It benefits the local Humane Society. But we do work with them. Obviously, they can still use our online registration to promote the event, drive registrations and whatnot. At the Top Golf event, you can't really live score it. So that's not really in play. But actually, with a putt event, you can absolutely live score it. It's actually just like a regular golf event, just on a much smaller scale. So it's definitely a great option if you are a nonprofit out there who feels, I don't know if I have the ability to get a full field of golfers out to a golf event. Maybe I put on a putt event and market it towards families, kids, and I can get all those folks out there. So it's definitely a great option. We've even seen some clients that they already have an existing golf event. They're like, well, heck, let's do a putt-putt event later in the year. I think that'd be really successful. So they're really great options, and I think they're here to stay for sure.